Before commencing into the pre-production stage of my project, I initially had to understand the conventions of short films. Their narratives can last up to 25 minutes and can be independent or relatively low-budget films that young upcoming film directors and producers use to gain experience and further establish their work into the film industry. Important to know alongside the conventions were also features that make a short film successful, such as a simple yet original narrative with strong visuals and a plot that produces enigma codes for the audience to think upon. The production of short films has never been easier, with the advancement in technology allowing anyone to tap into the industry, creating productions with a range of content, styles, genres and perspectives, making it more difficult to define the conventions objectively. To aid my understanding of short films, I looked at examples of short films found on YouTube.com. I felt I could be inspired by either technical features within the production or by the originality and style of the narratives. I analysed Little Larry, The Ting and The Fly, all of which used everyday realistic narratives and settings which were likely to relate to the audience's background. Therefore, when a moral message is alluded to or a plot twist emerges, the audience often find the film more fascinating and original because they come away with questions. The Ting settled for a colloquial style throughout the production. Shots displayed with a tilted angle made the framing relaxed, which matched the comical twist in the narrative. In addition, I was influenced by the use of heavy dialogue employed, with the use of ambient sound to convey the narrative making the need for a score impractical. Urban slang is used throughout the plot.
Cool.
Wait them. Are you about to get shift? You best move for man, you're mad.
A comical atmosphere to the production, which personally I enjoyed. It also allowed the audience to engage with the plot through the addition of translation. This made the audience feel like a fly on the wall. I knew I wanted my target audience to feel like this in my own production. From that research, I used the conventions found in the example short films to formulate the foundations of the conventions in my own production. The final edit of Visitor can clearly be defined as a short film due to it being a 5-minute production. It is an independent, self-standing product because you need no prior knowledge to be able to understand the concepts and narrative applied in the film. It follows the main character's journey of struggling to accept the fact that she is starting to see and hear things that aren't really there, alluding to the symptoms of schizophrenia. My production takes on a narrator style and subverts the conventions of Toradov's narrative theory by the narrative beginning in a flashback and going between the present. I also applied the use of enigma codes, formulated by Barths, to my narrative, due to when researching previous productions such as The Ellington Kid, the more gripping and engaging narratives also left me with unanswered questions, thus I felt it was necessary to employ these in my own narrative. In the research stage of my project, particularly when researching into schizophrenia, I discovered that the number of men who were diagnosed with schizophrenia outnumbered the cases in women, and the average age of onset is 18 in men and 25 in women. Therefore, the main character's demographic subverts from the scientific average, making her case more interesting and also shows a representation of others similar to Birdie, if that's through age or gender. I think the final design of my film poster shows influence from the early research stage of analysing professional film posters. I was heavily influenced by Split, using a stern expression displayed using a big close-up across the leading character's face. This makes the audience question the character's behaviour, forming a puzzling opinion about the character, which is reflected in the narrative, which is based on split personality. I felt a concept like this would be appropriate for my main image, as I'm also trying to convey a puzzled opinion of the main character and link her to having a mental health condition. I conformed to the conventional layout of a film poster, making the title central and the largest text on the page, along with the placement of referencing the actors and including the star rating, quote, tagline and release date of the production. In terms of the film review, I have conformed to the British film magazine Empire, imitating the layout of a typical Empire film review, both in the format of the review but also in the language used in the text, such as addressing the actors and directors using their last name. However, Empire doesn't conventionally review short films, thus making my own text only an imitation of a traditional Empire review. The yellow border, including the key information section and verdict, stating the star rating and release date, and including a screenshot from my short film, is all the imitation of an Empire review.